Right now at 6, there's a showdown over who actually won the primary election in the Indiana Senate District 23.
So Senator Spencer Deery leads the President Trump endorsed challenger Paula Copenhaver by just 2 votes. Now Copenhaver has filed a petition for a recount.
At the center of it are the voters named in that petition who the Copenhaver team wants to question under oath about their vote and their voting history. Emily Longnecker talked with one of those voters today who says he did nothing wrong.
The least you can do as an American citizen is vote.
That's a lesson Christopher Wood tried to impart to the high school students he taught decades ago.
And I said to them at the end of the class, there's only one thing that I want. Vote. If you learned anything, learn that it is your responsibility to vote.
Wood says he'd teach that same lesson today, even as the vote he just cast in this month's primary is being questioned.
I just don't understand it.
Wood voted for incumbent Republican State Senator Spencer Deery over Deery's challenger, Paula Copenhaver, who's asking for a recount after losing by 2 votes. But in these court documents, Copenhaver doesn't just want a vote recount. Her team wants to question 14 voters, including Wood, under oath about their voting history and their choice to vote in the most recent Republican primary. Copenhaver's team claims some of these voters spoke to reporters or posted on social media that they had crossed over from their normal party affiliations to vote in the Republican primary, but planned to vote for a Democrat in November. Copenhaver's arguing those voters' ballots should be thrown out.
I have never heard before when someone has asked for a recount where then they are going after the actual voters.
Under Indiana law, a voter can be challenged at the polls when they ask for a particular party's ballot if a poll worker or even another voter believes that person normally doesn't vote for candidates in that particular party. If that happens, the person can still vote, but they have to sign an affidavit saying in the upcoming general election they'll vote mostly for candidates in the party whose ballot they chose in the primary. Wood says he voted in Republican primaries in Indiana before, and when he did this time, he says no one ever challenged him when he asked for a Republican ballot. Wood identifies as an independent and says he voted for Deery in part because he supported Deery's vote against redistricting, something he says he shared with a reporter.
Because he had the integrity not to be pressured into doing something that he morally thought was wrong.
But Wood says he's also voted for Democrats before, too.
I think you choose not the party, the person.
And for Wood, that means if a recount in the Senate District 23 race happens, and Spencer Deery isn't the Republican nominee come November, and Paula Copenhaver is,
Are you going to vote for her?
Absolutely not.
Leaving Wood to vote for a Democrat when it comes to picking who he wants to represent him in the Indiana Senate.
I don't believe in not voting for someone.
In West Lafayette, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.